Hello there. So today I am going to do another quick AI demo. And this time I'm just going to show you how I do an AI panel discussion, or how I use an AI panel discussion to kind of brainstorm ideas. So this is not something that I would use verbatim. I wouldn't take the output of this and use it like on my blog or verbatim anywhere. But what I found is really useful for coming up with other ideas and for helping me to see a problem or a topic from another angle. And so I'm going to show you how I actually do this, and it's pretty interesting. It's just one of these uses of AI where it's a bit different from how how you would have worked before. So this one here, and I'm going to show you on ChatGPT. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you here, just so you can see. So here's the prompt. So give me a list of 5 prominent experts in the field of, and I've just put in here, I'm just putting in creating lead magnets for business authors. Okay. You can put in anything you want here. So whatever the field that you're interested in. And I'm going to say first, just list their names. Now I could use this as a single prompt and then use this as another prompt. I'm just using the two together here just for testing. And then I'm saying next, I want you to imagine that they're at a huge industry conference and they're on a panel discussing that topic. So that topic is referring to what we just talked about here. They have a heated discussion with lots of interesting ideas and suggestions. Write a transcript of their conversation. So that's what we're doing here, and I just want to show you what the output of this is like. So I find this really interesting. Okay, so I don't know why that happened here. Let's just see if ChatGPT will give me an answer to this. Okay, here we go, working now. So now it's browsing, so it's looking for prominent experts. So I might actually do this search without Browse by Bing turned on as well, because what it's doing here is it's going and looking, it's actually looking for people, specific people who are prominent experts in this field. And so when you have Browse with Bing turned on, what it's doing is it's actually going out and using search results and using that to kind of feed into the prompt. When you have that turned off, when you have browser Bing turned off, or all browsing turned off, it will just generate based on what's in its database. So, and that's the database that's been trained on. Okay, so now it's picked 5 authors. So I don't know all of these people here, but these are people who are, experts in the field of creating lead magnets for business authors. I don't know if that's the case. I'd need to look up these people and see who they are, and it's giving me references here, so we can look those up. So now let's imagine these are on a panel at a huge industry conference discussing the topic. And so we have a moderator. Cool. They've given us a moderator here. And so now we have Pamela talking. So this is a hypothetical fake Pamela Slim, not the real person. And this is just generating what she might say in this scenario. And so she's talking. So first she's describing what a lead magnet is, and then she's saying why it's important. And now we have Sarah, and Sarah is actually giving an insight here. Again, this is what ChatGPT thinks that Sarah might say about this topic. And so Sarah is talking about understanding your pain points. She's suggesting checklists and templates and things like that. And then it's going through all of the other people and giving idea. And so basically what we can do with this is we can use this to see, are there ideas around a certain topic that we may want to bring into what we're writing about. So if you're writing about something, then this can be really useful. Now I ran this in some other in some of the other AIs as well. So I'm just going to run it here in Claude and just see. So okay, so Claude saying that the 5 prominent experts are John Smith, Sarah Johnson. I don't know who these people are, but let's see. So maybe it's making these up, or maybe these are real people. So, but again, it's giving us this panel discussion. So this one's talking about checklists and free chapters and surveys and assessments. So again, this is just giving ideas for, like, if you're writing, let's say you were writing about this topic. This is giving you some ideas. Now, this is a pretty short panel discussion, but you can see how you can use it here to get some ideas. Here's what Bing said. I did this one already. Bing wasn't able to figure out who prominent experts in this field were. I was really specific in what I said here. I didn't say in creating lead magnets. I said in creating lead magnets for business authors. So that's getting quite specific. Bing obviously couldn't find anything. And then it's just created this panel discussion. Again, there might be some ideas in here that are useful for you if you're writing something. And that's why I use it for brainstorming like this. And let's see what Bard did. So Bard has picked some people who I'm quite familiar with here: Amy Porterfield, Jeff Goins, Joanna Penn, and so these are definitely people who are experts in this field. And it hasn't written, so it's written Mark's one here in bullet points. So the output is kind of formatted in a different way, but it's still useful. There's some good tips in here. There isn't anything that I haven't seen or anything new. But if this was an area that I was not familiar with, then these would be some really useful ideas. Now, one thing that you can do is you can take something like this. So let's say, right, so you can take one of these things that it says here, and you can take that and you can say, we can say something like, they came back for another discussion about this topic. And I'm just going to give it the topic in quotes. Please write the transcript. And so we're taking and diving deep onto one of these topics. So let's see what this comes up with. So, and I'm going to copy this one. So now Bard is going to work on. So this is coming up with ideas that are both valuable and unique. That's the key point here. So now it's going to go and try and do that. And so let's see. So what insights can you give your audience? So there might be some ideas in here that are useful for you if you're writing about this topic. And you like, maybe you'll get it. Like, this is the way that I'm using AI is to brainstorm ideas. Like, let's say I've got 5 things that I want to write about lead magnets for business authors. There might be a 6th or a 7th or an 8th idea in here that I didn't have, but that would make for a good topic. And so that allows me to create something that is addressing more points, and it's a more rounded article, or is more useful to my readers. So I'm going to do the same over here, and I'm going to do the same over here in Claude as well. Claude's output here is very minimal and fairly basic. So I think, like, maybe you could ask here. You could say, if you're getting really basic output, you could say they had another discussion, but for a more advanced audience, and so you can tailor it that way. So let's see. So they're going to in here talking about what competitors are offering, surveying your audience, directly involving your audience, experimenting with different mediums, and yeah. So there's a couple of different things in there. Let's see what's over here. Identify the gaps in existing resources within their niche and fill those gaps. That's an interesting one. So you see, there's ideas here that we wouldn't have had if we just started out without, if we just started out by saying to ChatGPT, just give me ideas about this topic, because it's actually trying to replicate what people would say with a certain point of view. And so just to come back to the base prompt is, give me a list of 5 prominent experts in this field, whatever the field is. And first list their names. And now I want you to imagine they're at a huge industry conference. They're on a panel discussing that topic. They have a huge discussion with lots of interesting ideas. Write a transcript of their conversation. Now, I'm going to just throw another idea out there to you for this. So I'm going to say that somebody was in the audience. So I'm going to say Richard Branson. Okay, so Richard Branson is in the audience, and he pipes up with an interesting suggestion out of left field. What did he say? Okay, so we're just and you don't have to use Richard Branson. You can use Elon Musk, or you can use anybody you want. But we just imagine that somebody who is has a different perspective on this, or might have a different perspective, has something interesting to say. So so here's what he's saying. I believe embracing a bit of unpredictability can be quite engaging. Maybe they could create interactive lead magnets where readers can embark on a small adventure or solve a puzzle or an interactive quiz. So again, this is, depending on who we gave as the name there, this suggestion is going to be different. Like we could have put in like Gary Vaynerchuk or something like that. But the idea is you're just getting different ideas. And this is something where, you could you could take this to another level. Like one that I used before was using Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. So and I'll do an example of this. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle are having a panel discussion at the same conference. They're talking about the importance of authenticity in personal branding. Write the transcript. Okay, so you can pick any historic figures you want, and you can pick any topic you want, and these will make an attempt at writing it. So, and sometimes it'll do some really some really kind of cliched rubbish, but sometimes it'll come up with some really good stuff. So let's see. So this is fairly bland, this one here from Bing. Let's see. These are going a little bit deeper over here. Remaining true to one's values, even in the face of public scrutiny and criticism. The unexamined life is not worth living, as I once said. You see, so there it's turning to what they've already said before. And it's obviously getting philosophical here. This is much better output from ChatGPT than we're getting over at Bing, even though it is with ChatGPT4 over on Bing as well. And I didn't do this. I had a look over here. Usually the output from Claude is in a more simplistic manner. And by that I mean it's usually written in a more simple way, and sometimes I prefer the output from Claude to ChatGPT for that reason, because it's closer to my actual writing style, where I write in a very kind of direct, straightforward manner. So those are just some ideas for how you can use these kind of brainstorming techniques with these AI tools. And I do like the panel discussion, and like you can come up with, like let's say Socrates is talking to Richard Branson, or you can bring in anybody you want, but it will try and just flavor it and come up with some different ideas. And I find that fascinating as a way to use these tools, because like what we're using them for, like I don't want to use them to generate content. Like I don't want them to use them to just write text for me. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm covering all the bases in my ideas. So like if I'm writing a book or a blog post about a topic, I want to make sure that I'm covering everything. So first of all the things that I know about that topic, I want to put in there. But then I want to make sure that there's not something that I don't know about or I've forgotten, or something interesting maybe that I could add in there. And that's where I think that these tools are super helpful in actually helping us to brainstorm in that way, and we can interact back and forth to get those ideas. So that's just a way of using AI for brainstorming, using panel discussion